Hi everyone, it's Evie and Lucy, and honestly we're still reeling from the last ending we got, but we're here and we're ready to give it another go and hopefully get an ending that isn't as messed up.
Hopefully.
I was enjoying smooching Crow and then I just got my heart broken, so yeah, so this time we're gonna try to go for Soul. We don't really know how, but we're gonna try. Maybe get more screen time with him. Don't know how I feel about Soul, to be honest, because right now I'm kind of upset with him.
I'm very upset with him. So to reward him like this with my attention,
Okay, let's get started. Okay, everyone, we've kind of skipped ahead. We just wanted to get to this choice because I feel like this is the big branching choice. So instead of going with Crow, who we're still mourning, we're going to try to do something else.
Now, it's trying to decide which of the other two options is Soul, the library or somewhere else.
If I was a yandere who killed other people, where would I be? I almost want to say library because he seems kind of to himself, but then also my brain goes to maybe the librarian is boring for him. So it's honestly a coin flip at this point. Library or somewhere else.
Remember that when we met him at the infirmary, he had gotten into a fight. So I can't imagine that he got stabbed at the library.
I don't know, the school seems kind of messed up, so who knows? Maybe rather than, you know, being quiet in the library and getting books, they're just having fist fights and knife fights, so I don't know. Right, do we want to go somewhere else then?
I do, just to see what that somewhere else is.
You glance at the blonde-haired woman as she waits for your answer. You turn to Crow. He too was anticipating an answer from you as a nervous drop of sweat rolled down his temple. Oh, I feel so bad. I feel so bad. You've got to be honest, Crow was right. All of this was still quite overwhelming to you. Throughout your years here, you've only gotten used to Crow's presence and his alone, but then yesterday he introduced you to his group of friends you didn't know he had. You're happy for him, you really are, but why does it feel like a lie whenever you tell yourself that? And why does your heart swell and your stomach churn from the thought of him not being by your side all the time? Oh, okay, this is also getting a little dark.
Yeah.
The horrible feeling of green envy and raging jealousy consumes you ever since the thought came across your mind. A sudden lump made its way to your throat, hindering you from forming words as you can feel your eyes threatening to water while your shoulders started trembling. You need to get out of here. I need to go. Boofus? You ignored him and the group as you pushed him away, earning a shocked look on both Brittany and Crow's face. This is so much sadder than I wanted it to be. I just wanted to say, hey, sorry, I just kind of want to do something else.
I know.
My heart. At least you're alive, Crow.
Crow and them too, because I think it's great that we were making friends and we got together with Crow, and now we're just alone.
I'm just gonna console myself with the fact that he's alive. His head's attached, everything's fine, even though it breaks my heart.
He's still got that long flowing hair.
Yeah. Boofus, wait.
Damn, I didn't think Brittany would make someone cry by being so bad at communication. I already forgot his voice, I'm sorry. For dang its sake, Daryl. Shut up, I didn't mean it, okay? What? I'm right, aren't I?
I'm going after her. No, Crow, please don't.
No,
You're just gonna get killed.
Want me to.
Huh? Oh. Ichabod. I don't remember his voice. I know it was...
It was a Squidward.
Was it? I don't even know how to do a
Squidward voice.
I'll try next time. Crow didn't listen to his friends calling out his name, especially Geo. Oh, why is Geo sort of singled out? As he ran after Boofus, rushing out of the room, hoping to catch up to her. No, I love you, Crow, but no.
Oh. Get away from us, please.
You're gonna get killed if you're with us. This is so depressing. You shove through the sea of students, receiving some irritated looks after pushing them aside. Their looks don't matter to you, however, as you try to get out of the crowd as quickly as possible. Is this because we didn't go to the library? I swear, this is starting to feel like that. I'm
like, maybe we should have just gone to the library. Would that have been at least nicer?
Wait, what if it is? Okay, maybe I'm crazy, but you know how it said, you know how it was vague? It was literally the first two options were specific, like go with them, library, and the third was like somewhere else. Maybe that was implying like, no, I need to get away. Oh my god.
And
I can't deal with this. Boofus, wait. Crow's booming voice behind you isn't helping your rising anxiety and your tears now slowly cascading down your cheeks. Boofus, please wait. What's wrong? Stop. Crow cries out with each breath he takes. You keep on ignoring him.
Aww.
I'm so sad right now. You turn a corner, hoping to lose Crow in the crowd. The worried tone in his voice just makes the ache in your chest more and more painful. It's literally what we're feeling right now.
Yeah.
You did not care how many floors you ascended as you ran up from one floor to another, nearly tripping on the school's bad architecture. Before you knew it, you made it to the school's rooftop. Pressing an ear to the door, you don't hear Crow's call anymore, and you let out the breath that you've been holding. And then everything slowly crashed down on you. You fell down on your knees and hugged them, not bothering with how dirty the floor is anymore. You look up as a few droplets of rain slowly drop down from the sky, a reflection of the salty tears now staining your cheeks. I'm so pathetic. Crow is his own person. I feel so selfish to even think I'm his only friend like he is to me. Of course he can have other friends besides me. But why does it hurt? Is it because I'm just some nobody? All of them look so cool, especially that Brittany girl. She's tall and pretty. Heck, I might mistake her for a model if it weren't for her uniform. She seems like Crow's type. The familiar ugly feeling made its way to your chest. You tightly clenched your fist to where your aching heart is. You want to rip it out in the open and toss it from the edge of this building. Will he leave me if he deems me unworthy? Was I ever worthy to be beside him? You can't think anymore. You don't want to think anymore. The tears now flooding your eyes as your sniffles turn to sobs and you bury your face on your knees as you cry your heart out. The rain now heavy as if resonating with your sorrows. I need some happiness, man. We went
I
from
just wanted to look for Soul. I didn't want to have a breakdown.
trying to get with Crow and him being murdered because of it to trying to gently avoid Crow to breaking his heart essentially and now being depressed in the rain. I'm just, oh my gosh. I can't do this. Ugh. How long have we been here? It stopped raining.
Wow.
You have no idea how long you've been crying, but you've run out of tears to shed and have been staring at a blank space for a while now. Maybe it's time to head back. You look up at the dark skies, the rain slightly calmer but still not stopping its downpour. Standing up and dusting your back, you were about to grab the handle when you heard another voice from the other side. Your heartbeat quickened. You swore you were alone when you got here, and you were blocking the door the entire time so someone coming in would be near impossible. You are curious how this individual managed to get past you. Or maybe they were just here before you, who knows? Wait, they were quiet this whole time?
And in the rain the whole time?
Forgetting your initial plan, you slowly approach the voice, making sure not to make too much noise as possible. Who's this?
Ooh.
Just as you suspected, there is someone. A young man in a green vest, must be his uniform, hair in the shade of light blue, like how they remind you of the skies before it darkened, tied into a low ponytail by a white ribbon. He seems to be in a deep conversation with whoever it was behind the phone he held to his ear. You can't quite hear the conversation he was having, much less understand what he's talking about. You assume he is speaking in a whole new different language.
I didn't notice the hair in the back, but that is my type.
Oh, I didn't
Yeah.
notice that either. That went right over my head. Okay. You stepped back. You're guessing the student is a foreigner. Seeing that he seems to pose no threat, you were about to leave when you felt a hand grab your shoulder. You stood frozen on your spot as you felt a huff of breath fan your neck. Oh god, how close are they?
What? What?
Oh my
What?
god! Something
What?
cold and sharp touched the side of your throat, and you were no fool to understand quickly that it was a small knife he's threatening you with. What is happening? What is this route?
That's because we went somewhere else. Jesus.
I'm just gonna say it. We should just be single. I'm sorry. There's just no winning.
Who are you?
Who are you?
Speak. Unless you want to get yourself into big trouble.
I'm saving.
I don't know.
I don't even know anymore. Just kill us. I don't care. I'm so depressed right now.
I know.
It just feels... I'm laughing because I'm just frustrated. I'm like, I really wanted to like, oh, sure, let's go Soul. At least he'll, he'll spare, Crow. Instead, we broke Crow's heart. Ended up with a psycho with a knife through our throat.
We didn't even do anything. All we said is, I'm gonna go somewhere else. That was the big thing.
I'm never doing that, apparently. I need to be specific about where I'm going because this is what happens.
Surrender.
Sure, okay. I'm Boofus Boofington from Class 4B. Please don't kill me. You yelp out. The hand on your shoulder went loose as you feel him withdraw the knife. Taking it as... Would he have killed us otherwise?
I'm assuming.
What is this school? What is going on? Taking it as a chance to push yourself off of him and turning around to face the blue-haired, knife-wielding student, you had the urge to throw a punch to his face. Instead, you didn't. Rather, what you came face to face with is a look of confusion across his face and a hand under his chin. He isn't even looking at you. How rude.
What? I am so confused.
I'm so lost. Now he's all like, "Ooh, I'm innocent." No, you're not. I don't know. You tried to murder us.
Boofus Boofington. Why does that name sound familiar? And Class 4B, too.
Now's your chance. While he's distracted by his own thoughts, you pathetically throw a punch. I would have just ran. You pathetically threw a punch at him. He, however, merely catches your fist with a single palm, his other hand never leaving his chin as he keeps pondering over his thought. He doesn't even care.
He had a knife. Why would you try to punch him at that point?
I don't know. I would just run. Ugh. Why did you even bother? You were never the strongest in your family.
I remember now.
You swore you saw a light bulb lit up on the top of his head. He lets go of your fist and pockets his tiny knife, which turned out to be a foldable pocket knife, and gives you a bright smile as if he didn't just threaten your life mere seconds ago. I don't like you.
I don't like you. I take back what I said. I like your hair, but I don't like you.
What? Oh, sorry, this is you.
What impeccable timing you have at the moment, Boofus.
He puts his hands together like a prayer and bows down, double taking his sudden shift in attitude.
I'm in need of your help. You see, I can't attend my next class due to some familial emergency, and I promised my partner I'll be there. But seeing that you're in Class 4B, can you take over for me?
I don't want to help him. What? Who does this guy think he is?
Your next class is Art Appreciation with Mr. Allen, correct?
And how does he know your next class is Art Appreciation with Mr. Allen? Whoa, hold on. First of all, who the heck are you? Second, why do you have a pocket knife within school campus? And third, why would I agree to your terms after you literally just threatened my life like that? After realizing the situation, he lets out a gasp, his mouth shaping an O. Really? Really? No. He fixes his posture, then gives you a wink and a thumbs up.
Oh, you.
Wait.
Son of a biscuit.
Girl, is this him?
That is him.
He killed us. It's him. Oh.
I mean, I already wasn't gonna trust him after this, but
no.
Now I fourthly don't trust him.
I can't even process this. I don't even know what this is anymore. Can I just point out, when we went with Crow, it was a lot more fluffy. It was kind of like, oh, let's go in the lunchroom. I mean, the worst that happened to us until Crow got hurt was we got whacked upside the head with a tray. That's it. This is just like drama, depression, nearly being killed.
Oh, man. Next time we're going to the library.
I'm just gonna read a book.
The name's Hugo. Hugo Sugimoto. I'm from class 4A, but I often have classes mixed with Mr. Allen to catch up on my missing subjects from past years.
This guy is a clear troublemaker. He just rubs the back of his head and chuckles as he continues with your next question. Taking out the pocket knife, he dangles it like some toy and presents it to you like it's the most exquisite thing you've ever laid your eyes on. You rolled your eyes.
This?
He waves the pocket knife left and right.
It's for self-defense. The guards are quite poopy at their jobs in inspecting each bag. Things as little as these are easy to slip by. Plus, it's quite useful if you're ever in a pickle. Why were you in a pickle? We weren't doing anything. We literally just turned around.
Wait,
Gave you our back.
Somebody crying on a rooftop and trying to leave the rooftop is a threat to you? Okay.
That's quite a pickle.
We're in school grounds. Just use scissors like any other normal human being. He puts his tool back in his pockets.
And as for your last question...
His expression relaxed, his goofy persona thrown out of the window as quick as it came, his tone now a bit serious with his gaze fixed on you.
Do you have friends, Boofus?
Okay, that kind of offended you a little bit. Yes, I do.
Yeah, but don't you ever think you feel like you're not doing much for them?
That made you shut your thoughts up.
Not gonna lie, he's not really the best guy out there.
He blabbers on with the thought of whoever his friend is, but judging from the way he talks, he seems to care for him, admire him even.
But people tend to misunderstand him quite a lot. Heck, even I did. I thought I couldn't trust this guy with anything.
Wait, he's friends with Soul, right? I'm assuming.
Yeah.
So that makes sense because, I mean, Soul murdered our soon-to-be boyfriend, potentially, and this guy is friends with... Yeah, okay, that kind of checks out, doesn't it?
I was about to say, I mean, in his eyes, it's like, this girl is trying to kill my friend. I have to kill her. I don't like it, though. I'm very upset.
But my question is then, did he really have no idea about what happened with Crow? Because I feel like I could excuse it more if it was genuinely self-defense and he's like, oh, my friend's about to be killed, I'm going to save him. But I don't know.
No, I think this guy knew, definitely. He was about to kill us like nothing, so I think he knew Soul killed Crow. But still, in his eyes, it's kind of like, I'm gonna always protect my friend over anybody else.
Don't forget, he said no witnesses at the end. He didn't check on Soul. He said no witnesses. That makes me think he knew. Like how you don't trust Crow with anything before.
Sorry for threatening you with a knife, Boofus. But what I'm saying is that oftentimes I can never be there for him. I've given up on the thought of staying by his side. But you, however...
There was a gleam in his eyes you couldn't seem to decipher.
Maybe you'll understand him.
Oop. Get to the point.
Please be his partner for your art class.
And he's down on his knees like a begging clown. The serious tone he had beforehand is now replaced with the blabbermouth crybaby before you. Seriously, he had you fooled there for a hot second. Okay, I'll be your friend's art class partner. Get the hell up.
You mean it? Thank you, Boofus. I knew you were the right person.
Who is this friend of yours anyway?
His name is Sol. Don't worry, you won't miss him.
Without sparing you another second and trying to ask for more information from him, he gives you a friendly pat on the shoulder before leaning in and whispering.
Wipe your tears away, Boofus. Crying does not suit people like you.
Boy! I'm sorry. He threatened us with a knife and now he's like, crying doesn't suit you. Being dead doesn't suit us either.
Yeah.
I'm so angry.
I'm not falling for your honey words.
And with that, he's going down the stairs. You only stared at the now open door, your feet rooted on the cold tile floor from pure shock. How does he know I was crying?
Because he was there? Remember?
I don't know. You were now walking down the hallway. A few students were heading to their own respective classes while some went to where the library was. Oh no! My heart.
Oh, please. Just make up.
Boofus. One heart attack after the other, you're telling me. You swore this day refuses to give you a break. You aren't ready to face Crow yet. He's probably worried sick, especially with what you pulled minutes ago.
And you're just gonna worry him more. Ah.
I know, but at this point I want him to stay away from us because I'm worried that if we're... This is the thing. I love Crow. I do. But I'm worried if we get close to him in any way that Soul's gonna be like, oh, you smiled at him. Time to butcher him.
I just want to make up with him, but like still keep our distance.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Go ahead.
You were probably lost in your thoughts for too long that you suddenly felt arms wrap around you. Crow's face buried at the crook of your neck as he held you tight. No. His shoulders were shaking. There was no one else behind him. It was just you and him. Don't do this to me, dude. I looked around the campus for you. Where have you been? Why didn't we go to the library? I'm just so done.
I'm sorry.
What if the library would have been the same? What if there is just no way to spare Crow? Either he gets killed or he's sad. And
surely, had we said, I'm gonna go to the library, there would have been no Boofus, wait, don't go.
I just don't want to be sad anymore. I looked around the campus for you. Where have you been? You bit your lip, not giving him a chance to hear your voice. Crow pulls away from your neck, but still kept his hold around you. You refused to look him straight in the eyes, and he didn't push you for it, already satisfied with you in his arms. A sigh escaped his lips. With one hand, he cups your cheek and rubs it with his thumb as he observes your red and swollen eyes. He bit his lower lip, a flash of regret made apparent within his eyes. Just then, behind the both of you, you heard a lone student call on to Crow's name. You swore that Crow's eyebrow arched and twitched as if irritated. Do you want to do this random?
There you are, Ichabod. Yeah. There you are, Ichabod. Your presence is required by the council.
I don't freaking care.
What was that, Ichabod? I couldn't quite hear you.
Fight. Sorry. I'll be right there. Crow says, his back still facing the student. The student merely raised a brow, but didn't insist any further and walks away in the opposite direction. Crow lets out a tired sigh as he returns his full attention to you. Give me a text once you're ready to talk. Pulling away, albeit hesitantly, he rummages for something in his pockets before taking one of your hands and placing something in it. Without turning your head, you look down and saw a handkerchief on your palm. I'll see you later, Boofus. I'm so sad! This is horrible! This is so sad. He turns on his heel and moves to the same direction where the student from before had headed. Once he was gone from your sight, you squeezed his handkerchief and used it to wipe your cheeks despite the salty tears that dried at this point. Pocketing the blue handkerchief, you slowly made your way to your next class. Man. I don't even know if I want to click on this anymore. Is
it still 0?
It's so sad. Oh, I just realized a difference. Last time he was lit up in color. Interesting. You know what's interesting? He was on 1 last time as well, but he was grayed out. So I'm assuming that means it doesn't really matter the number. It's just route, I guess.
I guess so.
I don't feel happy.
I don't feel happy. I'm depression.
I just want to make up with Crow, but okay. Barely making it to your next class, you slid the classroom door open, earning you a few looks from the students inside the room. Turning to the podium, you exhaled a breath you didn't realize you were holding when you realized that your teacher was still absent. Fixing your composure, you scanned the room. A few easels and shelves filled with brushes and bottles stained with acrylic paint guaranteed that you made it to the right class. Upon scanning the room, you thought back to what the guy who threatened you with a knife on the rooftop promised you. I won't miss him, huh? Well, that's the hard part. Everyone here looks like they're hard to stop from how colorful they all look. Typical art students with their colorful hair and looks and the way they dress, never heeding to the school's strict rules since they're never really affected by said rules. The liberty of a course not strict to academics. But you also took notice of some students who aren't in the course. You're guessing they took this subject as a minor subject. So either this sole character is an art student or some regular student. You gave up in your search and took your seat. In any case, you'll find out which one is sole once the class starts. Hearing the classroom door open, your art professor makes his way inside, his large round belly standing out, round spectacles sitting on the top of his nose, and a stereotypical brown beret on his head. He greets the class before starting his lecture. I just remembered you were Barney for that one, I think.
Yeah.
Art exhibit project featuring various eras of art as part of your thesis. This time we are tasked with expressionism.
Remember, this is all part of your paper, and not to mention making a name for yourself, of course.
I love it.
Ho ho ho.
That cheered me up a bit. More like taking the credit of a student's work and using it to advertise your poopy school. You scoffed at the thought.
Hope you all got a partner already by this time. For this term, I'm tasking you all to create 3 works based on the exhibit's theme.
This is where you want to throw your desk out of the window. Girl, me too. How could you forget? You weren't present during the previous meeting, and you absolutely knew no one in this specific class. Why were you taking art again? Oh, right, your father was an artist as he was a farmer.
Still don't get it.
It was all for him, and maybe you can make a name for yourself with your work if ever your life as a gardener wouldn't turn out the way it should. All part of Plan B, and if that fails, I've got Plans C and D. I've yet to make up the rest. Or guess I'll die.
You almost came through with that.
Yeah. Hey, in the last route, you did die.
Yeah.
You shake away your silly thoughts. The problem is now at hand. You do not have a partner to work with.
Now I want all of you to go to your chosen partner for this project so I can start explaining your tasks.
Oh, eventually you were forced out of your seat since your seatmate's partner will be occupying it for the class. Now's the perfect time to look for the sole person Hugo was talking about, but up until now you have no idea to what he looks like. You're hoping he's a good person to work with and wouldn't put all the workload on you. You shiver at the thought. You've had enough of those kinds of people in your life, especially during your entire college years. Unlike the rest of the class scurrying around to meet their partner, you were the only fool who was standing still. Note on the only one standing, because from the corner of the classroom there's a single student not bothering to stand up from their seat. Their seatmate had left to pair with someone else, leaving a vacant spot. That guy might be Sol? Well, we'll find out soon enough. Is he not going to bother with his partner? Unless... Hey there! He looks up from his desk and looks at your approaching form before you're eventually standing next to him.
It's you.
Did he say that last time?
Mm-hmm. This has been so far a repeat.
Well, some of the things were new, because obviously we were looking for him this time.
Seems like you're a bit lost there.
Do you have a partner?
No.
Well, just your luck then. Me neither. So, do you want to be partners?
Sure, why not?
You took the vacant seat right beside him. His book now tucked away and on his desk is now a pen and piece of paper seemingly ready to take notes. Hey, I never got to know your name.
It's not quite important.
Well, I should at least know what to call you instead of Green Street Guy. He raised a brow at your silly nickname you gave him before slightly shaking his head.
Sullivan Brungsmansia. But just call me Sol.
You sound so depressed this time around.
Yeah. Giving him the depression.
So, we know this one's positive, so I'd say we go with this
Yeah.
one. Sol nods, rubbing the back of his head.
You can say that. My mother gave me that name.
It's a lovely name.
Thanks.
Well, I'm Boofus Boofington. Nice to finally know your name, Sol. Sol nods with a smile forming on his lips, then returning his attention back to the professor.
3 artworks to showcase. No, it has to be some form of expressionism. Mediums will be strictly traditional.
Your professor then proceeds to give other pointers for your project before leaving you and the rest of the class for the day. Everyone in the classroom proceeds to talk with their partners, already brainstorming ideas on what they're going to showcase, and hopefully could get a high grade. You turn to Sol as he took out his own charcoal pencil and a sketch pad for the class. You got any plans for our first display, Sol?
Expressionism is about conveying one's feelings, right? The easiest for now is a portrait. Let's use your face as an example.
Wait, he's not injured this time. I don't know why I just
Oh.
noticed that.
I didn't notice that either. That's interesting.
Oh, wait. Was that on his face last time? I don't remember that.
Dang it, I don't remember that either.
I know this is different because he's had a bandage here.
He was bleeding by then.
Interesting.
Maybe he got into a fight with that person that knocked us up the head with the tray.
He got knocked this time. My face? He lets out a low chuckle.
There, you're making a cute expression right now. That can be considered as expressionism.
Huh? He seems like he already has an idea on what to do. And judging from that half-filled sketchbook of his, he's quite familiar with the concept of art. Me, however...
Still good at art.
If you would give me the honors to draw you... I thought he could draw us this time because his hands are fine.
Go ahead. At least I could count on you.
As you were taking out your materials, you call back to the student back at the rooftop. This made you wonder how Sol managed to befriend someone like Hugo. But you don't think this is the appropriate time to ask him that. Was your friend any good at art as well?
Friend? Oh, yeah. I already had an assigned partner for this class. But he ditched me at the last minute for some important family business. He never tells me, though.
He's probably out murdering people. I don't know.
And I'm not the type to pry either.
Does your friend go by the name Hugo, perhaps?
Yeah. How did you know?
I met him during lunch. He was on the rooftop.
Typical of him. Sorry you got dragged into this mess of his, taking his place.
You shook your head, telling him that you don't mind one bit. You observe him as he goes on and on about this friend of his. Despite him shaking his head in annoyance, you can see a lingering sense of endearment in his words. Almost forgetting the fact the short butt had threatened you with a knife on... Wait. Almost forgetting the fact the short butt had threatened you with a knife back on the rooftop. But seeing Sol like that, it was actually cute. Slowly taking out your sketch pad, you begin to draw Sol's various expressions as he talks. And here I thought this guy would be the type to brood a lot. Guess I was wrong.
Would you believe me if I tell you that guy is one of the top students in the entire class, yet is always missing in action?
You raised a brow in mild curiosity, pencil still on the pad. Really now? He doesn't seem to be that kind of guy.
Which part? Him being a top student or always missing in action?
Shrugging, you continue on with your sketch. Sol, now taking notice of your scribbling on your sketch pad, paused, and proceeded to lean in a bit closer to your face, trying to pry the sketch pad off your hands.
Were you drawing me this entire time?
No.
Liar. I thought we were supposed to draw him.
I don't know.
Yeah, he says he's the one drawing us, but I was pretty sure we were supposed to be drawing him.
Wasn't it kind of like he went on a tangent about his friend and they got distracted?
I guess it's because I understood it as like, cool, beats me from doing the work, he said. So that's why I was under the assumption we're drawing him still.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Oh. I thought I was the one I thought I was supposed to be the one drawing you, not the other way around.
With a huff, he leaned back on his chair, crossing his arms in the process as a pout made its way to his face, biting the side of his cheek as his lip piercing reflects the room's artificial light. Aw, come on, it's not that big of a deal, Sol. You try to cheer him up. Plus, you look really cute. Sol's cheeks turned red, his eyes widened before swiftly averting his gaze from yours, the grip on his arm tightening, causing the sleeve of his shirt to wrinkle. Oh, that wasn't me, that was the game.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I saw what he said that time, though, did you?
No, I didn't. What did he say?
He said, not as cute as you. You said something?
Nothing.
You sure mumble a lot.
It's a habit. I'm not used to talking a lot.
So you probably gave him the perfect voice, to be fair.
I know. I didn't think so, but right.
You keep talking about your friend Hugo. You seem to be so fond of him regardless. Sol lets out a sigh, rubbing the back of his head at the thought. He knew you were right, and he knows he cannot deny that he's fond of his friend. His only friend.
I owe him a lot, that's all. Enough about Hugo, though. Let's continue on with our task.
Alright. I'll keep drawing it. Okay.
And I'm drawing, and that's final.
You pout. He merely chuckles. Alright, Grumpy. You couldn't help but hold your gaze on Sol's face, the bandage on his cheek most especially. Judging from how much it covered half of his face, you guessed it must have been a huge blow. Can I just say what I do appreciate about this game is, even though this is technically a repeat scene, it's completely different because we're talking about Hugo. We were drawing him, but he wants to draw us. Like, you know what I mean? It's like really different. Yeah. So I like that because to me that gives this game a lot of replayability because it's the same thing but very different.
Agreed.
You decided to question him. He fell down the stairs or something?
What makes you say that?
You pointed to the bandage on his cheek with the back of the pencil. He bit his lower lip, lowering his head a bit, trying to cover the bandage with his hair.
You can say that. Nothing for you to worry about, though.
You're guessing he must be referring to the stairs heading towards the rooftop. Knowing those flight of stairs are quite unstable, there's a huge possibility he must have fallen pretty bad. He seems quite embarrassed by the thought alone. Though you couldn't help that there's more to the story than that. Or if he's actually telling the truth. Either way, you don't want to make him uncomfortable. Turning your focus on your sketch pad, you continue on with your sketch. Hope it gets better soon.
Thanks.
The sound of a school bang...
Bang.
The sound of the school bell rang loudly outside the classroom walls, signaling the end of class. Your professor gives your class one last instruction before bidding his students goodbye. Sol tries to pry your sketch pad off of your hands, probably wanting to get rid of the sketches you made of him while he was on his tiny rant. However, you were quick on your feet and shoved your sketch pad in your bag before he could get his hands on it. Sol gives you a pouty look before giving up eventually and starts packing his things as well, proceeding to head out of the classroom, waiting for you by the door. Do you have a phone? We should exchange numbers and update each other so we can do the next 2 more tasks. Sol takes out his own phone and asks for your number. You recite it out as he inputted it on his phone.
Let me try to send you a message.
You nodded and looked at your phone screen and saw a new notification from an unknown number. This must be Sol's.
Sup?
You type so different from how you look.
I don't think it's very different, to be fair, but...
It's also just one word.
Yeah.
From the corner of your eye, you see Sol's eyebrow raised at your text.
What's that supposed to mean?
Nothing. You chuckled, he rolled his eyes. Your stare lingers on Soul's face. A smile is embedded on his handsome features while he looks at the block of text on his phone. You bite your bottom lip and you recall the events that happened today. I don't want to recall them. It was a sad day.
Yeah.
Formerly meeting Crow's group, nearly getting a death sentence by meeting Hugo, and most especially meeting Soul. Back then, you struggled to form friends throughout college that you were convinced you would be graduating without making a single connection, which would undoubtedly disappoint your father, and you were ready for it. You thought to yourself, these are odd people, eccentrics at most. All misunderstood people, all human, all the same. A sudden wave of determination washed over you. With a hand on your chest, you stare into Soul's orbs, making him tilt his head slightly. Soul, I want to be friends with you. I can sense that people tend to misunderstand you and your overall personality. Soul is quiet, but his gaze remains on you with a lingering curiosity. But let me be different. I want to know you. I want to understand you, Soul. If you let me. He blinked once, then twice, then a chuckle. He puts a large hand on top of your head and then ruffles your hair.
All right then. Let's mark today as the start of our wonderful friendship, Boofus Boofington.
You playfully pushed his hand off of your head and nudged him on the shoulder. He lets out a small laugh at your poor attempt. As to you too, Sullivan Brugmansia.
Just Soul is fine, Boofus.
Well, I need to get going. See you tomorrow?
Huh? Oh, of course. See you tomorrow, Boofus.
Giving Soul a wave of goodbye, you make your way towards the school's exit.
My darling. My sweet, darling Boofus. See you later, pumpkin. We're gonna have to call it here.
I'm very curious to see where this goes, and I'm really hoping for some romance as well. Like, I know we're a bit unsure about Soul right now, but I need something, because right now I'm still a little sad from everything else. So hopefully in the next part we're gonna see some of that.
I'm a little bit bitter, I'll be honest, but I know we've got to go this route because I want to see the rest of the story, so I will give him the chance that I can.
All right, see you guys in the next part. Bye!
Bye.